Yeah, so this is the PowerPoint I meant to use for my first part of communication about stopping and getting attention, the issues of communicating as a coach, and when I explain the verbal and non-verbal ways of communication. I hope this is okay. Thank you. There are many types of communication. It is important that a basketball coach gives his players lots of instructions so they understand their roles on the court and what their coach wants them to do. It is important that a rugby coach gives lots of encouragement because it is a physical game, and if the team is being dominated, then they can become despondent and not interested. It is important for a golf coach to give the player constructive feedback so that they can then improve their game, because golf is very technical and the coach can give them little things to work on in their game. A boxing coach would have to communicate behaviour management, because if a boxer loses control and behaves badly, then they could seriously hurt the other boxer, as it is a dangerous sport. Safety is also important for a baseball coach, as it is a very dangerous sport as well, and the coach needs to check all the players have the right protective gear on so they don't get hurt. Coaches have some things to decide about feedback, whether it's concurrent, so a gymnast. The coach would need to give gymnast coaching tips during their handstand about their technique, whereas if it's terminal, it'd be about after someone's played a cricket shot, the coach would analyse what they did well and what they did wrong and give them coaching points on that. So positive or negative, so it depends on the player. If the player is quite a nervous player or shy, then you'd probably give them more positive feedback, but if the player is quite cocky and confident and think they did really well, give them negative feedback. Frequency or amount, so depending on the player how much feedback you need to give them. So do you need to be constantly in their ear? Does that help them learn? Or if they're a player who wants to just do it, learn, play, and then you tell them what they did well and wrong, then you need to just do it off the player. Which will also either give his player public or one-to-one coaching. So if it's quite a general thing, like to a football team about that they played badly or they all defended badly, then he might just say that public or to all of them. But if it's something quite technical or an individual player had a stinker like the goalie, then he might talk to them just on their own, one-to-one, so that no one else can hear it and it's not embarrassing for the player. Coach might give verbal communication. If it's something he spotted at the game, then he might talk to them verbally. But if the player is quite shy and awkward, then he might speak to them non-verbally via email to the parents, or maybe he might give them hand signals to show them where they need to go on the pitch. Like for a basketball player, if they're quite inexperienced and quite shy, then the coach might just point to where he wants them to go. But if a rugby player needs to be talked to about stuff in their game, but they're quite shy and don't or mess around a lot, then he might email their parents and tell them what they need to work on, so their parents can have a chat with them, so it goes in more because their parents are a bigger influence. Volume and clarity, so if you have lots of young children, you need to be very clear in what you're saying, otherwise they might not understand you. And if they're going to be messing around and loud, then you need to be very loud yourself so that they understand you and respect you. Some special requirements a coach might need to think about is maybe allergies, so what food he brings, what drinks he brings, whether a player's maybe hard of hearing, got a bit deaf, he might need to speak to them more closely or use body language or sign language. Non-English players, he might need to explain to them using maybe images if they don't understand the language. And maybe players who aren't as developed as some of the rest of the team and don't understand technical language, he'll need to simplify it for them and go through it. Or players with maybe injuries, he'll need to talk to them and work out how much they can play, or if they need to wear like a bandage or something like that.